Hi, folks. It's nearly 2 o'clock UK time on the 17th of April 24. Thanks very much for tuning in. In my search for good health, because I'm now, as far as the health service are concerned, the only remedy for my bad hip is a replacement, and I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking, it's not the going under the knife that's bothering me so much, I realise, as the putting myself in the hands of the health service when they really just want you to put yourself in their hands and then have nothing more to do with it. Just let them get on with it. Do as you're told. As you can imagine, that's no me. If you've been following me, I'm not very good at doing what I'm told. But anyway, um, so I've been searching um, for something to pull me out of this, as you might know if you've been following these videos. Anyway, the most recent thing I found, and the most compelling evidence, is that it's salt. And yet again, for decades, we've been told to keep our salt low because it leads to hypertension, it affects your blood pressure, it does this, it does that, it does the next thing. But now, over the past few years, we remind ourselves that when we're given advice from the system, especially from big health system, um, it's because they really don't want you to be well because it's no longer profitable for them if you're fit and healthy. And I have to admit that I got pulled down that, and over the years, maybe 20 years, maybe more, I've reduced the amount of salt that I took intake, um, and until I'm virtually taking none. And I'm at the stage now where, yeah, I eat very little processed foods. I try to stick to organic and make my own, include my own bread. Not that I'm eating bread at the moment because of this no carbs diet. But when I am, I tend to cook my own cookies and things like that. Um, so, and that's occasionally I might buy something that's already processed, but it's very, very rare. So I'm not even getting salt from that. Um, Between the ages of 50 and 60, I did a lot of exercise before I moved to Cornwall, and the gym that I was in, I was going to 6, sometimes 8 classes a week. Fairly high cardio, body pump, step, uh, all sorts of things. Um, and there were times I was also running. I used to run home from work. There was a period I was running home maybe twice a week, and that was 5 miles door to door. I know I don't look like it now, but I was relatively fit. Um, and I would top myself up with water, hydration, hydration, hydration. And I would drink the water, but I never ever thought of putting salt in it. And I wasn't into the sports drinks because I'm not really a fizzy drinker or any of these processed drinks. Um, so I'm thinking that the build up and a reduction of salt over these years, and especially recently where I hardly use any salt at all. And now I've found videos online, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce the surname properly, but it's Darko Velcek, Velcek, and I got his book, and points out where if there isn't enough salt in the system, you don't have the electrolytes to encourage the movement of nutrients and toxic waste across the cell membrane. Um, anyway, he can much more compelling evidence than that, but that's the basics of it. So what happens is that the nutrients don't get in, the toxins don't get out the cells, your cells themselves build up a toxicity, they become less turgid, they become flaccid, macular cartilage. Well, maybe internally. I mean, I think of myself as internally being pretty healthy, but it may well be that a number of my cells and organs have been affected by this. Um, but in particular, this cartilage. So when the cells become flaccid because they're not getting enough water, because the electrolytes are not there to conduct this across the cell membrane. They become flaccid, they become easy to distort, and easy to destroy. So, yes, he's passionate about his own protocol, and I'm having a chat with him on Sunday, so I'll find out exactly what's what. But it makes so much sense to me that, to the extent that a few nights ago, 2 nights in a trot, I was wakened up several times during the night with bad lower leg cramp. I mean, foot all distended and so on. And having to get up and stand on it and so on. The third night before I went to bed, I put a bit of salt in half a glass of water and I had no cramps. And then it was the following day after that somebody happened to send me his first video on arthritis. And I've moved on from there. So I'm not, I mean, he's advocating 0.5% per litre, so 5 grams, a teaspoonful in a litre of water. And he recommends Celtic grey salt, which is understandable. And he's recommending 3 litres a day. I'm struggling to get down 3 litres a day. He's got all sorts of other things in his protocol, which I can't manage, like raw food and so on. But his arguments for eating raw food, yeah, I can understand them. But eating raw meat, and he talks about raw liver. I've never been able to eat cooked liver. I could not. Well, I can understand where he's coming from, but I draw the line. So anyway, what I'm saying, what I really wanted to get across is that it's worth looking into how much salt you're taking in your food. And he has a range of problems that are caused by low salt intake, and maybe worth having a wee look at his videos. Say what you think for yourself, but I'm certainly going to increase the amount of salt I'm taking. As I say, because I've ended up taking virtually none and didn't think twice about it. So, is salt the answer to our health problems? I don't know, but it's worth thinking about. You can chase it up for yourself as long as I bring it to your attention. Anyway, as I always say, thanks for tuning in, but live, love, and most of all, be happy.